First of all, I would like to really appreciate my comrade, my long-term friend, na pia mwanaharakati, comrade Bob Njagi. I think you are on the right path and history will be very kind to you. My name is Buka Ngesa Omole. It's a very sad moment today. I am the National Vice Chairperson of the Communist Party of Kenya, and I also co-chair the National Coordination Committee of People's Assembly, where the Free Kenya Movement and the Communist Party of Kenya is at its core. We also, under the National Coordination Committee of People's Assembly, NCCPA, we are also having the Concerned Citizens Assembly, which is represented by Professor Ogolla here. Now, just a few remarks. It's important to mention that when Bob Njagi was ready to speak to the media, the government of the day made all efforts to make sure that he does not speak to the media. And that is why we are hiding in the bush to address the media. When this press conference was called, the DCC of Isinya instructed the AP commandant and the DCI Kitengela to come and disrupt a legal press conference invited by a man that has suffered in the hands of this criminal regime of William Samoei Ruto. If indeed this government knew that what they did for Comrade Bob Njagi and all other, because Comrade Bob Njagi is only a representation and a victim of extrajudicial, not just killing, but extrajudicial arrests, abductions, and police kidnap. If he symbols that, and you don't fear him telling the story because you are acting according to the law, like the president always say that he's exercising his constitutional right. Why is it that today in the morning, when this press conference was meant to happen at 11 o'clock, there was a fiasco with the Kenya police? So we just want to reiterate that the National Coordination Committee for People's Assembly, with Free Kenya Movement, Concerned Citizens Assembly, and the Communist Party of Kenya at its core, are coming out very strongly to condemn the actions of the commandant, the AP commandant, and the DCC of Kitengela at Isinya for having interfered with this press conference. The second important point that we wanted to say, that the alternative, because everybody is saying that people are tired, they do not want street protest anymore, but the people want change, that they're asking, what is it that the Free Kenya movement is doing? What is it that the Communist Party of Kenya is doing and the Concerned Citizens under the Coordination Committee of People's Assembly are doing? First of all is to hold this government accountable. That we must convince ourselves today that the people who have suffered in the hands of this illegitimate regime that has returned us back to the dark Moi dictatorship of abduction, torture, must be held accountable. Today, as Comrade Bob Njagi has issued this statement, that he will not stop at anything, but to pursue that justice is not just seen to be done, but not just for himself, but is going to drive an entire process that should ensure that everybody that has suffered under the hands of this illegitimate government has to be compensated materially, and even, a public apology be made to indict the head of state to stop all this abduction under his command. And finally, comrades, we are saying that Every other thing that the government is doing is unnecessary distraction. In fact, the most annoying one that should help even mobilize more people to oppose this government is the useless bills that are being brought out by the boat crowd in the parliament. For example, there is a bill that is meant to actually control people like Bob Njagi and the Free Kenya movement for not going to the street, the anti-protest bill. This is total rubbish. I think it is unconstitutional. It should be rejected in its own, in its own violence and demerits, and the Kenyan people must stand up. There's also another bill that instead of dealing with the issues that the Free Kenya movement has been leading to make sure that the young people get not just quality social access that is guaranteed in the constitution for healthcare, for education, this government has chosen the most destructive path, and it must collapse on its own weight. And we are saying totally that we will not be distracted by the crisis in the ruling class. We will continue to advance a pro-people from below popular initiative that will end up replacing this government in its entirety and its newfound friends. Thank you very much.
People power,
higher power.
People power,
higher power.
Higher power,
people power.
Who are the people?
We are the people.
Who are the people?
We are the people.
A people united shall never be defeated. A people united shall never be defeated. Free Kenya everywhere.
Never be defeated.
Free Kenya
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Free Kenya.
My name is Florence Kanywa, and I'm here to condemn this police brutality, forceful abductions, and the disappearances that are made by the rogue police officers. And I want to say this: if the police is sure of what they said, that they don't know where the comrades were, why are they angered by us doing a press briefing concerning the Kitengela 3? This is a proof that they were the ones who are involved in it, and we are going to pursue justice for the Kitengela 3 and many others who have been abducted forcibly by the rogue police officers. And we are here to say, any rogue police officer who is being used to do these crazy things is going to go, and also Ruto must go. Because we cannot live in our own country like we are slaves, like we are refugees in another country. We are here to condemn these matters. So many mothers who their children were killed during the demonstrations, they are still crying, and we are organizing how all of them gonna get justice. And we are to say, there is no amount of intimidation, no amount of causing havoc by the police that is going to stop us from pursuing justice and pursuing good governance in this country. So, as a mother, I am saying my heart is bleeding, because when young people are killed by somebody who was given power by the people and is not even wondering or worried why people are crying for justice, and he is busy doing other crazy things, we are going to pursue justice to the latter. So what I'm saying is that the police, the rogue police officers, know that you are not going to intimidate us, and we will pursue justice until justice is done. And injustice anywhere to one of us is injustice to all of us and everywhere. Thank you so much.
An injury to one is an injury to
all.
all. An injury to one
is an injury to all.
I am the National Youth Leader for National Reconstruction Alliance Party, or NRA. I'm here to represent my party and my party leader, who is Okiya Omtatah, and also to represent the entire youth of this nation. I just want to reaffirm to the country that as the youth of this nation, we are committed to a cause that defends and protects freedom and justice. We have seen across the country, and the message to the youth, that we have been harassed, we have seen people being killed, we have seen people being abducted, and surprisingly, we have seen some of us who are committed, who had shown signs of commitment to the cause of justice and good governance, behave like they have gone to the other side. I am here to reaffirm to the whole nation that that cause must continue. I want to tell the youth of this nation that we are the light of this country. We are the life of this country. Every other person in the country is looking up to us. Our siblings, our brothers, our sisters, our mothers and fathers are looking up to us. And therefore, we must not get tired. We must not get derailed. And anytime that we may feel that we are pushed to the wall, that we are now getting derailed, let us not forget that we are mandated, we have historical obligation under Article 3 of the Constitution to protect, defend, and respect our Constitution. And therefore, I'm saying this way to the government: you may have abducted Bob and the other guys. You may have killed us in the street. You may want to suppress us, but we are not going to stop. You may kill a revolutionary, but you cannot kill a revolution. You may kill the movers of the movement, but you cannot kill the movement. You may kill the messengers, but the idea is there. And therefore, I'm calling upon all the youth to remember that we are the flag bearers and the torch holders of the future. Thank you.
Tuko tayari kwa mapambano. Tuko tayari.
Mko tayari kwa maandamano.
Tuko tayari. Tuko tayari kwa maandamano. Tuko tayari. People power. Higher power.
People power.
Higher power.
Higher power.
People power.
Who are the people?
We are the people.
Who are the people?
We are the people.
When we lose our fear,
They lose their power.
when we lose our fear,
They lose their power.
when we lose our fear,
They lose their power.
Free Kenya.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Free Kenya.
Free Kenya.
Everywhere.
Thank you. My name is Christine Gisheru, and my heart is bleeding this morning because over the years we have lost many Gen Zs in the demonstrations. We have lost even children who did not know what was going on. There are some of the okay, I did not say I'm one of the Gen Z leaders in the Free Kenya movement, and some of the leaders who are ladies like me, some of them are afraid of coming out to the press because they will be hunted down. But today I told Melissa, I will take the bullet for you. Let them come after me, and we are not going to back down. We will go back to the streets until we get what we are looking for. We want justice for all those who have been abducted over the years, justice for the judicial killings for no reason, for the illegal arrests. And what we are looking for as Free Kenya movement, we want a Free Kenya that has got an accountable government, a government that is functional, a government that that is going to to shape the future of tomorrow. And as me as the leader of the Gen Zs in the Free Kenya movement, we said we are not going to sleep as we watch our tomorrow being stolen. Wameiba kesho yetu na hatutaketi. Sasa tuko safarini, tunataka tuchukue kesho yetu tuiweke mikononi. We have youths who are very educated yet no employment, but yet they are always in the government passing. They are always in the parliament passing some bills that do not even focus on the pressing matters of this country. Passing passing bills like right now they are passing an anti protest bill. We are not going to buy that. We are rejecting. Na nataka niwajulisha ya kwamba tuko gangari na tunarudi kwa kiwanja. I'm here, you can come get me. Thank you. People power.
So, just to summarize what is happening, because we want to have a way forward, I want to take this time to feel with all the Kitengela 3 who are the representation of the people who have suffered the highest level of abduction. Bob, take heart. Your fight was not in vain. You have written the history of Kenya because by you being held there, an inspector general was sentenced to prison. It has never happened in the history of Kenya. You've written history of Kenya. But that is just one of the wins we've had. People
Down
have,
with Ruto, down.
down.
Down with Ruto, down.
Down. People are wondering what the Gen Z revolution has achieved. Imagine one has been to sentence the Inspector General of Police to prison. Whether he didn't go or not, he was sentenced. That was a win. But also the Kenyans, what I want you to know, how important was it that the leaders of Free Kenya movement being arrested and held in Communicado was so important that even Inspector General had to lose his job. Can you imagine how important this movement is? So I want to take you to the heart of what we are trying to do. We are trying to liberate Kenya. And the liberation is not that we want an African or a Kenyan to rule us, because we have Kenyans who are not ruling us the right way. We want to liberate Kenya with what my colleague Christine has said. 60% of Kenyans, young people, are unemployed. 20% are underemployed. Soon we are going to see 7 million young people walking on the streets of Nairobi without a job. How will Nairobi look like? And how will Kitengela look like with 3 million people without a job? And ask yourself, if you go to Machakos, you go to Mombasa, you go to Kiambu, you go to Murang'a, 37 counties went out and rejected this government. So as far as we are concerned, the problem is so deep-sitting that cannot be solved with cosmetic solutions of useless bills in parliament. Whatever parliament makes as a decision, for us, it is useless. Whether they impeach anybody, whether they change, whatever they want to change, parliament died on 25th of June, 2024, according to us. Whichever decision they make, it's as irrelevant as one made by pigs or made by baboons.
Yes.
For us now, parliament don't exist. They can do anything they want. We must free Kenya and take Kenya back to Kenyans. Taking back Kenya back to Kenyans is that our voices must be heard, and it won't be suppressed with abductions. It won't be suppressed with unlawful arrests. It won't be suppressed by killings. You can see us with red berets. It is, we know this country is in danger, and we are taking the bullet on the front line. So there is no one to scare you. And I want to tell you, as far as parliament being relevant, why are we coming together? We are coming together in all this coalition. You can see all leaders here. We are coming together because we want to form an alternative government. And the heart of the message is this. You've been told that Kenyans are 42 tribes. We reject, we are tribeless. You've been told there are two tribes, where one tribe is the rich and the poor. We reject that narrative because the narrative is coming from the poor, who wants all of us to beg them. You know, when you believe that other people are rich and you're poor, your strategy is to beg them. We are not begging anybody. This country is our country. This country is very rich. Our narrative is as follows, that tuko na kabila mbili Kenya. Kabila moja ni wenye wanatuibia. So when you see yourself poor, don't believe it. The budget of Kenya is 4.2 trillion for 50 million people. How can such people be poor? Kenyans, are you not talented?
Yeah.
Kenyans, are you not gifted?
Yeah.
Kenyans, are you not hardworking?
Yeah.
Kenyans, are you not industrious?
Yeah.
A Kenyan beats everybody in Harvard. Take a Kenyan, average Kenyan to Harvard, he'll emerge number one. Take a Kenyan to Stanford, they'll be number one. Kenyans have been elected in UK. Kenyans have been elected abroad in Australia. How can they be poor? We are poor because kuna wale wanatuibia, na hiyo ni kabila moja. Na kabila ya pili ni wenye wanaibiwa. Sisi hapa penye tuko vijana, kama una kazi unaibiwa. Tunaibiwa nini? Adani Airport inaibiwa. Tukisema abduction. Chief inaibiwa. Tukisema abduction. Education inaibiwa. Ukisema abduction. Bob must be in a cell, and Bob, I'm telling you that what you saw is the facade of new emerging Nyayo torture chamber-like buildings are in Kenya, are there back. The Nyayo torture chamber-like buildings are there. That's where you're being held. You are not alone there. You're with other people and you are so many. Just that you had one room so you can only see yourself and the room. So we cannot allow wenye wanatuibia kuongoza nchi na sisi tunabaki kama tunaibiwa, alafu tunaambiwa ni sisi ni maskini, ni kama sisi hatufanyangi kazi. We have a government of a trillionaire. Ruto is a 2.8 trillionaire. Gachagua is a multi-billionaire. The cabinet is a billionaire cabinet. Those people are so wealthy, that's why we are poor. Ni wale wanatuibia. Now we are not buying the narrative ati kuna upinzani. No, we want alternative government. Upinzani is, we are not, tuna mtu napinga. Sisi, we are alternative government. Why are you saying so? Upinzani siko ndani ya serikali. Wako kwa wale wanatuibia. Wameiba kuanzia mwanzo mpaka mwisho. If you look at the whole opposition, they have been there from Moi time, Kibaki time, Uhuru time. They just change among them, telling us, mimi ni opposition, lakini you are just within. So this Free Kenya movement is stating as follows. Mjue wa Kenya, sisi ni kabila mbili. Wenye wanatuibia na sisi wenye wanaibiwa. Tuungane pamoja sote. Usipigane na mtu yoyote ambaye anapigana against wenye wanatuibia. Tuungane pamoja, tutoe wale ambao wanatuibia na Kenya itaendelea mbele na tutapigana mpaka mwisho, mpaka tuone ile siku wezi wameenda. Walisema mzungu aende Ulaya, Mwafrika apate uhuru. Sasa hivi tunasema mwizi arudi nyumbani, wenye wanaongoza wapeleke Kenya mbele. Asante.